Hi, my name is Sandra, and today I want to talk to you about unconditional love. And one of the ways to really practice unconditional love is to start with your family, your close family members. Maybe you have children, and it's a perfect opportunity to really hone in and practice unconditional love. Once you go on this journey of self-development, self-empowerment, and you are really choosing your own way, that sometimes is not in alignment with what your family had in mind for you. And that can bring up some friction and some struggle where family members, they actually just want you to be happy, but they have their own fixed ideas what this happiness should look like and how you should go about it. And very often when you choose a different path than your family had in mind for you, they kind of worry and they don't want you to do it. They just want you to stay on that path that they have chosen, that they know, that they're comfortable with. And all kinds of resistance can come up, and it can come to a point where you're no longer able to communicate with your family, where the family is actually saying, we don't want anything to do with you anymore. In my experience, if you are getting any resistance from family members, and you start pushing against it, start trying to justify and defend yourself, the resistance only gets stronger. So the minute you actually surrender and open up that compassion and be in a very compassionate state where you're like, okay, they just want me to be happy. They're looking at it from their perspective. They are looking through their own filter of experiences. And deep down, there's this fear-based energy, fear that you are doing something that will harm you at some point or will make you unhappy. So if you can build up that field of compassion, they will feel it, and you will feel the resistance backing off, diminishing. And then just open up your heart for that pure unconditional love and just go to the core essence of why you want to connect with your family. And it isn't because you want them to see it your way. It's not because you want to be right. You just want to be connected in a very loving way. So from that place of compassion and unconditional love, there will be a lot of openness, a lot of freedom. And if your family will be watching you closely, and if you actually can do it from a very genuine place, from a very heart-centered space, that compassion, that unconditional love, they will feel it. And at a certain point, they will respond by giving you that freedom and that unconditional love. And it might be a process that takes a while. So don't be discouraged and just focus on the core essence, that the connection that you want to stay connected with your family. And if you are in a situation where you're not in contact with your family or part of your family, with certain family members, you can even practice this from a distance, just by holding space for them, being in a state of forgiveness, seeing everything, defining everything as positive, everything that happened, trying to find the silver lining, just being compassionate to where they're at, their perspectives, and sending unconditional love through time and space, even if there's no physical contact. And even if you are still in contact with your family, you might feel that there is a part of them that doesn't understand what you are doing, why you are doing it. And even if they see that you're happy and that you're doing good, they can't really understand, they can't really tune in to what you're experiencing. And this brings up an opportunity for a high level of compassion, where you are compassionate for their experience of you and what you're doing, because they're not used to taking these leaps of faith and these courageous steps that you might be taking. And the difference between family and friends is that when you have friends that no longer resonate with your frequency because you're growing and expanding, some friends just leave and they leave your reality and new friends come in. But we all have this innate, this deep desire to stay connected with our family. So again, that brings up a tremendous opportunity to practice unconditional love. And one of the ways to practice unconditional love is to actually start leading by example and showing that compassion, showing that you understand that they worry about you or that they don't understand you. And also being in full acceptance of the path that they are choosing. Because maybe you are worried about family members and you want to like educate them and explain how you are doing and the choices you have made, and maybe books that you've read or teachers that you've heard speak, and you just want to share that with your family because on a certain level you might see their struggle and their contraction, and you feel that all this freedom and all this expansion is actually helping you, and you want to share that with your loved ones. The key to maintaining connection with your family and with your children, if you have children, is total acceptance. Seeing them as sovereign beings, as free agents, that they can choose whatever they want to choose, what makes them happy. Even if you see it might not be working, it doesn't matter. You give them the total freedom. You totally accept the choices they make. And then from that place of unconditional love, you're just there. You just have this desire to connect with them. You don't want to teach them anything. You don't want to lecture them. You just want to stay connected. And the key is total acceptance, compassion for where they're at, and total acceptance of the choices they are making in life. On a personal level, I've been practicing this for years with my children, and just giving them that sovereignty that they can make their own choices. And by giving them the freedom to make their own choices, they actually become more responsible young adults. Because if, as a parent, you're always trying to take away their freedom because you think that you know what is best, you're not giving them any opportunity to find out what works for them, and they don't have to take up responsibility. So even if it's sometimes hard to see your children make choices that you wouldn't make, you have to trust that they also have their higher self looking out for them. And by giving them the opportunity to make their own choices, they will learn by experience, just on themselves, on their own. And you can hold that loving field as a parent, just being there, loving them, supporting them, saying, hey, I believe in you, I trust you to make choices that in the long run will benefit you. And the beautiful part of it is that when you start being more compassionate, being more accepting of what their choices are, you will see that coming back to you. They will reflect that acceptance, that freedom back to you, maybe in little baby steps, maybe not all of a sudden, but they will feel that field of unconditional love, that space that you are holding for them. And because we have this deep desire to stay connected to our family, things will come up, and you will have many, many opportunities to practice being in a field of compassion, respect, acceptance, unconditional love, and just letting that emanate from your heart center. And everybody that comes into your field will feel it, feel that energy. And like anything in life, the more you practice, the better you get at it. So I encourage you to keep on practicing. And remember, if I can do it, so can you.